COVID compliance, of course, is very important. It's going to be a long afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Headphones to the ready, cup of coffee in hand, glasses, and co-commentator Alex Young, E-Racing GP, Endurance Edition. We have got 4 hours worth of, it won't be rip-roaring entertainment, it'll be a slow build-up. Or have I got endurance all wrong?
Boy, it could be exciting. You know, we got 4 hours of driving here. We got some very competitive racing from ERGP. It's our first time we're doing an endurance edition. We're on the ACC game here. But yeah, I think we might actually get action all the way. These guys are very good, and Silverstone allows for very close racing. Silverstone is the venue. Any particular reason why you've selected Silverstone for the test for the drivers? Well, it's a great track to drive on. We saw in the Global Edition 3, that we had some really good racing there. So it's one of those tracks where it's fun to drive, but we always get good racing. And so we want to have good racing, especially when you're going to be sitting here for 4 hours. Indeed. We've got plenty of competitors, so we've got an awful lot of opportunity to flit around the various competitors. 46 starting races. How have you attracted this many people on e-racing? Yeah, so we have 46 teams, 46 cars, and each car has only 2 drivers. So it's going to be busy. There's a lot of drivers here, and we can see the spotters guide if you want. Indeed, let's select some of the best. Let's select them all. Names to look out for: Dominic Ang and Freddie Ang in car number 3. Shaquille and Basquera, Longley and Jason Wong. That's not Jason, is it? That's the Hong Kong partnership. I'm just going through. Matrilio and Mutoch, they could be quick. Fun and Wong, both from Malaysia. Wong and Lee from Hong Kong as well. Juriel Cruz and Janelli Cruz, brothers from the Sim Racing Filipinas. Mika Hakimi and Amir Hazik. Is it Amir? No, it's Ayman Hazik, isn't it? Ayman Hazik. Yeah. Ayman Hazik, okay. Honkulada, who's new to me, and La Puz. Looking forward to seeing how the Filipinos do. Daryl Brady, of course, and Clapano in the Porsche. I'm looking forward. There will be spills with those two, I guarantee. Wajin Rao from Malaysia. Farid and Anastas, who look out for Ivan Anastas. He can be pretty quick. They're the first 12 that we've selected. Move through. In the Bentley, we've got Farhan and Shahab, Edwin Wong and Kesh Rahman. Arwin Tarunya comes back in car number 62. Further down, Chen and Ui from Singapore. Nigel Chua and Moin coming in car 78. Lam and Suhaimi 82. The Bentley, good looking vehicle, the Bentley. Royf and Ryan from Indonesia. Tri and Lee in the Audi. Good selection, the BMW of Chan and Chia. The Laughing Bunny, they're calling themselves. Fadlan and Ha from Malaysia, car 96. 97, the first of the McLarens. Rosales and Lomboy from Philippines. And the Bentley of Fok and Chung. Lots of variety in the cars, Alex, as we flip on through to page 3 of 4. Yep, so a lot of good cars. And now we're getting the triple-digit numbers. Harris Shaimi with Caliph there in number 100. Look at all the green and black Stratos cars. A lot of good guys there. 111, Mikko, Nassi, Naquib, Azlan. Wow, those guys would be very strong. That'd be a strong pairing to look out for. Some of the other drivers further down. You'll note the white numbers are for pros, but the numbers in red, those are AM drivers. As we go to the last page. Again, some more Stratos drivers. We don't have all the liveries here, but these are all the liveries that were submitted to us. 46 cars, though, there. So it's going to be very interesting. Legion of Racers, Andika Molana and Melvin Mo. It's great to get the Indonesian racers back on e-racing. We missed you last series, fellas, so let's hope that you've been practicing and can be up near the leaderboard. You've got a long time to prove your worth. So they are the starters, and I believe we're in... We've just finished the practice session. And we are in qualifying now. We are in qualifying now. So Silverstone, it's a case of just making sure you're in the right place at the right time, because there's some very, very quick corners, in particularly Copse Corner. If you can get that one right, Alex, it sets you up for the rest of the circuit. That is true. Very true indeed. So we are in qualifying now. We'll go back to the qualifying. I see 11 minutes to go in qualifying. So... it is very, very good indeed. Simkai 1, they haven't set their first laps out. They're out there. While it is raining, the track temperature is very hot. So I think the drivers will be on slick still.
Although it is getting wetter as we talk about it now.
I'm loving the fact that you've got rain out there. I do feel it makes a heck of a difference. It means the drivers really have to drive. They can't just get into a groove. They've got to be concentrating on every single corner, as we're seeing there from Ivan Anastas. I think he might be coming in to put some wet weather tyres, if not wet weather, certainly medium tyres on there. Perhaps, Alex?
Well, it could be. The rain is getting heavier. Maybe they think it is too wet now, and they're coming in for wet. So this is very, very dramatic. Oh, no, they are on wet tires. You can see at the bottom right of the graphic there, the wet tires are very good. Let's see who else. Has anyone set a time yet? No one's actually set a time. Wow. So drivers struggling with the conditions, going back onto the wet tires, so maybe not quite wet, dry enough. Although, like I said, the temperatures are high.
They do have a good 15 minutes, so they've got plenty of outlaps, plenty of opportunities just to see how the circuit is going. Silverstone is a lovely, it's a driver's dream. Rama Malana, Andika Rama Malana, really looking forward to seeing him again. In previous seasons, he has been very, very quick, Andika.
Yeah, he is. He's in the car 889 with his boss, Melvin Moe of Legion of Racers, so that's going to be a really good one to find. I don't think he set a lap time here. Let's see if we can find him.
Kalen Chins, though, has set a time, though, 2:05.046, car 555. Lamlaw out there as well. He's a second further down. And we're on board here with James Chung. James, let's see where he's looking at. Still plenty of time. It's a strange one. We normally give them just 5 minutes to qualify, and that means they've got to go out, put a banker lap in, and maybe set a lap time after that. Here they've got plenty more time to play with, because 2:05.46 is not a quick time round Silverstone.
No, it's you can just about do it. So that's qualifying. If it was dry, the best times would be doing 58s really. So yeah, they're quite a way off. The track is damp. Oh, there we go. Andika's just set a lap time, so let's just go have a look at his lap time.
Andika third fastest at the moment.
Oh, he's back in the pit lane.
Back in the pits, of course.
Going back, changing tyres. Let's change the heads-up display so we can see what tyres he's on. He's on wets. He's quite happy with that lap time. Let's see what Kalen Chin is doing. Kalen Chin, there he is on the left in the Lexus.
So 219, don't be confused by the numbers. 555 is his car number. 219 is the ping that he's getting. So not the best connection for him just at the moment. Doesn't seem to be having a problem at the moment because he's got the fastest time out there at the moment. 9 minutes still to go in qualification. Kalen Chin currently on pole.
Yeah, good job by Kalen. It's by quite a long way actually. So the young Singaporean, young Australian has done a great job there. We do know the Lexus is quite good in the wet conditions, damp conditions. The settings are on random, so we don't really know what's going to happen. It is wet at the moment, and they are on wet tires, but they might be going, by the time we go to the race later, it might be dry, it might be wet. We don't know.
Right. One of our favourites from Singapore, Mikko Nassi, is out there. He's driving a Lexus car 111. I wonder if we can just pick up Mikko Nassi at some stage.
Yep.
I'm just trying to pick him up. We're still learning how to edit around here. We'll stay at the moment on Kalen Chin. Mikko Nassi, though. So many races, it's awkward to navigate our way around. 46 cars out on the circuit at the moment. Fastest still is Kalen Chin.
Yeah, apparently they're not getting any in-game sound at the moment, so we're just trying to get it going.
Andika Rama Malana, 2.7 down. Tell you what, the longer this goes, because we're halfway through this session now, Alex. Now it begins to get a little bit dicey for the racers, because not that being on pole matters awfully over a 4-hour endurance, but it certainly gets you in the right mood, and you'd rather be at the front of the pack early on than having to really race and make up ground on those ahead of you.
Yes, that is true. Still no... That is true. Kalen Chin, you can see he's still going out for a good lap here. Let's see if he can go a little bit faster. He's got the TC off, interestingly enough. I wonder how he's making that work in these tricky conditions.
Still on board with Kalen. Still fastest. Midway through the lap. But he's a long way down. Let's just have a look to see how the best of the Filipinos are doing. Juriel Cruz is out there. Car number 26. Him and his brother. Fine looking vehicle. Oh, like that. Some cars just look like race cars, even if the livery isn't the prettiest. But Juriel Cruz, 12th fastest at the moment, 5 seconds off the pace in the Audi. That's a brother pairing from the Philippines, and I think they're the fastest of the Filipinos at the moment. But fast isn't particularly quick as he goes off. Kalen Chin still is the man who has got the leading time. Goes into the pits. Right, is this going to be possibly just a change of tyres, Alex? Because it's certainly looking sweaty out on the circuit there.
Yeah, I mean, no one's really challenging for the fastest time at the moment, so it shows what a good job he did in the tricky conditions. I think the rain is worsening, and that's what's making it tough for everyone else, because Kalen was the first guy to set a lap time, and you'd expect some of the others to be challenging for pole. So, well done to Kalen Chin. Was out there straight away at the beginning of qualifying, chose the right tyres. I think some of the others had to come back in and go to wets because they went out on the slicks.
Car 390 is Lam Lo. Second fastest at the moment, a second down on Kalen Chin, but 1.7 seconds ahead of Andika Rama. Looking pretty smooth. Wary on the circuit there, on the long straight there before they come into Brooklands and onto Luffield. The left-hander Brooklands, and then straight into the right-hander. And then they'll come up round Woodcut. And then this long straight sweeps us around through Copse. Mika Hakimi. Let's just stick with him here. He's on board. Oof. You can see fourth gear pushing 200 kilometers an hour.
Just ran a bit wide there. And now he's into Brooklands, or was it Priory? I can't remember what they called this corner. On to the penultimate corner now, Luffield, the second last corner on the track before Woodcut. He's still got 4.5 minutes to go. Maybe he's setting up for a lap. This doesn't look like a very quick lap time, but let's know he's 1.8 seconds down. Oh, he's decided to get back to pits. Yeah.
And Kalen Chin's still in the lead. Great job from Kalen. He set that time very, very early. I anticipated that it would be leapfrogged multiple times. He still might be, but he set that lap in the second minute. Can we do a driver swap in qualifying is one of the questions coming through. Alex, can they do a driver swap in qualification?
Well, they can, but it's very, very risky. Because this is one of the problems with this game, is that if you do, if both drivers leave at the same time, you will not be able to get back into the game. So if you've got to do a driver swap, make sure that it's done cleanly, and you stay on the server. It's the first time we're running with so many people on the server, so it is a bit stuttery at the moment, but we'll try and make that a bit better as we go along to try and make the streaming, shall we say, smooth.
Conditions are officially still dry. Bottom right of your screen. They are still dry, and Kalen Chin is rather enjoying it back in the pips. Now then, Alexis Klapana. Go on out, Alexis. Looking forward to seeing how he does. But Mikko Nassi. Great to see Mikko back. You know he'll be there or thereabouts, will young Mikko? Not young, is he? He's a veteran in comparison to some of the young lads, but Mikko Nassi still races like a youngster.
Oh, he's going to get some traffic. He's just gone through turn 1 Copse. Now he's in the Maggots-Beckett section. Oh, yes. Sung is slowing him down big time. He's on a quick lap as well. This is his chance to try and move a bit further up. Mikko Nassi is one of those drivers I would have thought would be challenging for pole position. Let's see how far down he is, though.
Currently P9. Where's his split time?
He is up on his time, even though he had got traffic. So maybe he can get a bit closer. Maybe move a few spots up on the grid. However, let's not forget, a 4-hour race is coming up, and qualification is not that important at the moment.
But you know, as we say, you'd rather be up at the front and dictating the race and being able to afford to make a mistake than knowing that the pressure's on. Mikko is coming round. Currently P9, 2.85 off the pace as Nassi comes round. He's a 104, 105, halfway through. I keep forgetting, just round Club Corner. This is the old start-finish line, isn't it? The new one is just around Luffield and Woodcott.
Yeah, well, it's actually the new start-finish line. We're using the old start-finish straight today, which is between Luffield and Copse. But Nassi, look at that, he's 8/10 up. That's a big time gain. So this is definitely going to vault him up the grid. Comes through this next sequence of corners, through the and it comes out of the arena area. and down this medium sort of straight into Brooklands. Oh, he's got so much traffic though. This is going to cost him so much time. He's 1.2 seconds up. He's got to dive down the inside here because he needs to take the time. If he hadn't taken that overtake, you'd have lost too much time behind Wadji. So anyway, one more corner to go effectively. This is Luffield. Oh, he runs wide, but at least it'll allow him to straighten it on the exit. He was going to beat, I think, 2 seconds up, almost to 1.9 seconds, well, 1.7 seconds, shall we say, as he crossed the line. That will vault him into the top 5, I feel. Let's see.
Top 3.
Well
Top
done.
3. Even better. Good performance, but Kalen Chin 2:05.046. I do apologise. I called that a relatively slow lap earlier on, but Kalen Chin is in the pits. Quickest into the final minute. We're on board with Tubagos Farhan, my mate Tubagos. How you doing, fella? Great to have you back with E-Racing GP. He gave us some spectacular action in races, seasons 1 and seasons 2. One particularly spectacular exit on the final corner of the final lap of a race. So come on, Tubagos, let's see what you've been doing in the meantime.
Comes out of Luffield again.
4th at the moment.
4th for the moment. I love the livery on that car. He's looking really good there. So his car number is number 55 as well. So yeah, he's with the Gamala Indonesian team. Comes through Cops, looks nice and clean. He's up on his lap time already. So he's in P4 right now. If he can find 4 tenths, or 3 tenths, shall we say, he'll move up a position. And there he goes through. Now we go to the maggot section here. Onto Beckett's. Needs a good exit out this right-hander. This leads onto the hangar straight. This long back straight here. Lots of overtaking will happen down here. So the rain is still coming down. He's 2 tenths up. He's almost there. He needs to find couple more tenths, and that'll move him up a position. Braking now for which corner is this? That's it. Stowe, isn't it? Stowe, and then now he comes down to Vale. Much tighter chicane than in my day. In my day, this is a bit of a faster chicane. Now he comes through this. This is effectively the last corner of the new circuit as he comes through onto a club and the new start-finish straight, which we are not using, guys. So don't get confused by the grid slots. This is not the start-finish straight. This is the F1 start-finish straight. Now, as then he comes through Abbey. Looking good. Oh, he's lost a bit of time out of that last corner, though, so he's not really looking as quick as he should be. Braking now for turn 14. Very tight corners, which leads into the slowest corner on the track. Turn 15, the arena corner. First gear corner, you got to punch it out of there. Exit's very important because it leads you onto the Brooklyn straight. This left-hander should be easy flat. And then again, oh, there's a bit of a delay there. Now, braking for Brooklands itself. Oh, there he goes. Wait, one more corner to go. Let's see how he does. Oh, he's lost time. He's not going to improve. He's not going to make a position.
I can tell you, though, that a young fella called Alistair Young has got himself into P2. He will be on the front row of the grid. Show some pride, Dad. Show some
Wow,
pride.
good job. Really good job. Especially because he's done it late on when the race is looking quite wet. Henry Cole, though, there. Great job in 8th position. He's the fastest of the amateurs. Really, really good job. So he'll be one of the favourites. I think everyone's pretty much done. But yeah, good job there by Alistair Young to get up into the front row. You could see that it was getting a bit wetter, and he's in front of some seriously fast sim drivers, so he'll be very pleased with that.
I'll tell you what, it shows you the value of getting a big lap out early. Kalen Chin set his lap very, very early on. I think it was in the first or second lap out. 2:05, I thought that would tumble, but nobody was able to come through to it. Not Andika Rama, not Mikko Nassi, not Longley, not Alistair Young. Kalen will be on pole, front row of the grid, shared with Alistair Young.
So anyway, good job there. So Kalen Chin on pole. So Lexus 1 and 2. AMG third. We got a bit of a break now as the drivers. So now we're preparing for the race. Basically we finish with qualifying. This is effectively day 2. So practice sessions are like run on Friday. That's day 1 of the weekend. Qualifying on day 2, which started at noon. That's done. It was a wet race. It was a wet qualifying. We now go to the race on day 3 on a Sunday. The game will do that. So we have a bit of time then. And now when we come to a Sunday, we don't know what weather we're going to get, but we'll soon find out. But we got some very inexperienced drivers out there. You can see now. Let me just get us to the
Well, I'm hoping there's rain. I'm hoping that the guys don't eat too much popcorn.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping...
Oh, it's dry. Look at that. It's dry.
Come on, rain. Rain, come on. This is England. It's bound to start raining sometime in the afternoon.
Yeah, it is. Well, we got a minute and a half to the race start. Session will start in 1 minute 30 seconds. So, yeah, all the drivers there getting ready. Whether they'll be doing the setup, they're making sure they got the right fuel. Got a few drivers there with not great internet. I can see some red lines next to the name there. That means the internet's not very strong. So some of the drivers might get pushed out during the game. There are a lot of drivers on the server though. But yeah, exciting stuff. We got 4 hours of this, Des.
We certainly have. Let's not get too excited in the early stages, but you might not be able to win a race in the first half hour, Alex. You can certainly lose it.
Yes, you can certainly lose it indeed. So drivers will have to be aware of that. They need to be careful and just take it easy in the first couple of laps. We had a driver's briefing just now. We talked to them a lot about the overlap and making sure that they don't crash into each other. We will be doing in-game stewarding for the first time on eRacing GP. Normally we just sort it out at the end.
And we'll be talking to some drivers as well on commentary, which will be a first for us. We'll try not to interfere too much, but commentators or budding commentators, get your vocal cords ready. Okay, we are just about ready to go. Front row of the grid, Caelan Chin, Alistair Young, 20 seconds until the red lights go on. Henry Coe says all the best. John Lawrence Bernardo says this is difficult.
Don't forget, we have one formation lap. This will be a rolling start. Really trying to make sure it's just like real life. These are GT3 cars. They're really good GT3 cars. We've got the Lexuses, we've got the Ferraris, we've got the Mercs, we've got the Porsches, we've got Aston Martins, all sorts of cars here today.
Dry conditions. Everybody is, I think, on the server. There's a very, very big grid as Caelan on pole gets away. Alistair plays a little bit of trickery games. Just make sure that Longley is paying attention, and Lamlaw as well. So Alistair in the green Stratos and Caelan Chin alongside him. So pros down the left-hand side in the white colour, and the red coloured are the amateurs. We're on board here with Andika Rama. Hello, Andika. Good to see you.
Yeah, he's out there. We're glad to see him back. He missed the last few races in Global Edition 4. Very, very quick driver. Yeah, we know he'll be right there. He's in the muck, and you can see the stay in single file. That's the ACC game letting you know that you need to keep within that speed. If you come outside of that green zone too long, you will get ejected from the start, and you'll have to start from the pit lane. So this is something the drivers have to watch for. It's quite a good trick of the game to make sure people keep a decent pace the whole lap round. And on this formation lap, you don't have to worry about hitting each other. You just ghost each other. Yeah, Andika is very, very fast. He's actually leading the SRO championship that's happening for the sim drivers in GT3 class. Yeah, really, really good job he's doing there.
Are the nerves at this stage, Alex? You've done lots of these endurance races. What is the predominant thing at the moment? Don't do anything silly?
Well, it's kind of weird because you build up for these endurance races so much that there is nerves, but you also got to take it really easy. You kind of just got to go, well, we've got 4 hours, we've got to really... And there is that the pressure's not as intense because you can build into these races. You know, even if you have a dodgy first lap and you lose a few positions on that first lap, you can make it up. So that pressure is not as intense.
Caelan Chin coming round, just stretching the lead just at the moment, and Caelan Chin will come through on the old start. Have I got that one right? This is the old start. Fast track, cloudy conditions, rain anticipated in about 30 minutes time. Trackside temperature 32 degrees centigrade. Caelan Chin will be on pole. It's a rolling start. He's playing 1 or 2 games, is Caelan. He's sped up, he's slowed down. He's just making sure everybody behind him is playing his little game.
Yeah. Dave Chin, just talking about qualifying, said he could have done a quicker lap time, but he just couldn't get a chance to warm up his tyres on the slicks. But yeah, lots of comments on Facebook. The wet tires were too hot, dries were too cold, so a lot of drivers struggling to get the kart tires in the window. That's why we saw such big gaps in qualifying. Normally these drivers would all be within hundreds of seconds of each other. Yeah, and in those tricky conditions for qualifying, it's all about getting the tires into that right
Kalen
range.
really playing one or two tricks there. Alistair getting a little bit impatient, as is Longley, as is Lolo. Mikko Nassi is pretty tight as well, so Kalen just playing a veteran's game. Cute start.
Yeah, so now on to Brooklands. Gone through the Brooklands, the left-hander, now on to Luffield, the right-hander. This corner is pretty much unchanged from when I used to race here. Very technical corner. You can try and carry a bit more medium speed and compromise the exit, or you can just try and straight line on the exit.
Alistair's got to slow down. Alistair's got to slow down. Oof, Kalen playing cat and mouse. Cheeky stuff from Kalen Chin. Everybody is just champing at the bit. And Kalen, slow. The rolling start. Maximising the advantage. Alistair. Impatience from Alistair.
Green light.
And the green light is on. And Alistair is in the lead.
Whoa, great start.
And Kalen Chin, well, we'll need to look at that. Kalen Chin immediately closed up by Longley. And Longley, I think, is going to take the inside of Kalen Chin. But Alistair has the lead. Like to look at that again. He was very, very close to the start. But no penalties being called on him just yet. Race control, anything to say?
No, so good so far. As the drivers now come down the hangar straight. Yeah, we have got race control looking at that, but I'm commentating on, oh, look, don't ignore the leaderboard right now. It's just shuffling as we go through it. But yes, race control, we'll have a look at that, I think. But we'll have a look, yeah.
It's still Alistair who has the lead. So a little bit of drama inside the first second of a 4-hour race.
The leaderboard is not correct on the left, but as they come to the last corner, Longley is back in front now. Wow, he's obviously taken the Malaysian, the Hong Kong driver. Oh, Jung down the inside at Cops. That was really brave.
Alistair is clearly trying to make a mark in the early stages. Kalen Chin. Now, this is pretty intense stuff. This early in a race. Kalen Chin is responding to the pressure. Alistair is leading. Kalen Chin, Longley and Lam Lo all there as well. You've got two Lexus, a Merc and a BMW. And the Ferrari of Reyes and Tubagas behind them in the first of the Bentleys in P6. As we are looking backwards from Alistair Young, he's got Kalen Chin right there. They are racing, Alex. They are racing at this stage.
Yeah, they are. That's looking close indeed, isn't it? So let's look further back, though. Andika Rama has moved up a lot of positions. He's up to 7th. Mikko Nassi, though, dropped down to 9th. Had a really bad first couple of laps. Did not expect that. So, but he's used to coming from the back to the front. In the test races, he was always very strong during the races. We can actually look back a little bit further back, see how Andika's doing. There he is. Ping is only at 27, so that's good. He's got a good internet connection. Sometimes we've seen his internet drop out before in some other races, but he's looking strong there.
And he's taken Tubagas in the Bentley as well. Beautiful looking vehicle, the Bentley. Sits gorgeous on the road, but Andika Rama. And there is Mikko Nassi, dropped backwards. Finger 15, 9th at the moment is Mikko Nassi, car 111. He's just ahead of 333, which is Troy Iman. Two Lexus there, two Stratos Motorsports racers going neck and neck. But this is the battle for P9 at the moment. Look top right of your screen as Nassi goes into the corner. Takes Iman. He's got Ang and Tubagas and Andika Rama ahead of him. Alexis Clapano in the Porsche.
Yeah, doing a good job there. Oh, I love Clapano. I always know what he looks like because he's always in the white and green Porsche. He really does love that Porsche. But yes, Alexis Clapano doing a good job there. He's in P12. I think his highest place of the Indonesians was raised. Yeah, but anyway, he's doing a good job there. Got a lot of cars behind him. Mika Hakimi there, Harris Shaimi. So we basically got the top 16 are all pro drivers at the moment. So we have to go a bit further back down to 17th position to
have Damo.
To see the first of the AMs. Let's just follow them for a while.
Aditya Hendamo is very close there on the back of Tunku Azlan, an old favourite from Malaysia, the drifter.
Yeah.
Might like it, prefer it if the conditions get wet. It has started dry. The track temperature 32 degrees. Not much wind out there. Bit of cloud cover, which isn't too bad. As we look on Hendamo, as he goes around to the inside of Haris Zefishami.
Yeah. Actually, look at that. In 30 minutes, if you look at the top right-hand side, we will get some more rain coming in.
Fabulous!
Yeah, that makes you happy, doesn't it, Des?
Love that, love that. It's a test for the drivers. And let's hope it's torrential as well. Azlan is chasing Afik, but he's got Hendamo right on his tail. Triple L. Leo Leung is in P18 behind Hendamo. And Suhaimi and Waji and Nigel Chua completing the top 21. Yevon David 22, Henry Coe 23. And Damo in the red, nice looking vehicle. They do sit well on the road, the Bentleys, don't they?
Yeah, he's having a good fight here, but he has to be careful not to get in too much trouble, because he's really in the AM class battle and he's leading it by quite a way now. So he wants to fight for his position, Hendamo, but he just has to be careful not to get involved in the argy-bargy and end up with a penalty or even worse, a spin and go to the back of the grid at this early in the race.
The black with the Malaysian flag is Tunku Azlan, and the Bentley just swarms past Azlan and moves up into P15. Azlan in the BMW now in 16 with Shami chasing him. Azlan didn't like that and is trying to respond immediately.
Yep, not able to quite get it down the inside of Cops, but he's right there. Azlan, the younger brother of Tukujan, the brothers are really very gifted race car drivers. They're both, and they're very versatile as well. Both of them, they're drifting, rallying, very, very quick drivers indeed. Actually, Azlan was supposed to be racing with his brother Tukujan today, but Jan was not able to make it, so he's now with, I think, Gilbert Ung, one of the Ung brothers. 3 Ung brothers here racing today as well. We'll go to one of them right now. This is Freddie Ung with his brother, I think it's Freddie and, oh gosh, I get them mixed up now. Freddie and Dominic in this car as we watch Freddie driving right now.
Oh, there's a touch there. There is a touch. Was it Mikko Nassi he just clipped? As we stay with there is the replay, and it was Tony Fock who was just eased off by which of the Youngs is it? There's so many. Freddie
Young. His brother Dominic will be sharing with them. So they are also contenders for outright victory. The Malaysian brothers here in the Tedco Racing. What's that? Chrome and green Porsche. They will be very strong later on for sure.
As they're coming up over the start-finish line for lap number 4. 4 laps completed for Lam Law, who is leading the way. There's Troy Iman. We're on board with Mikko Nassi there. Let's sweep our way through to the race lead at the moment. You've got Kalen Chin and Longley. Where's Alistair dropped to? Alistair dropped down to P4 and under pressure from Andika Rama, Andreas and Tobacco's Farhan and Troy Iman in P8. But Lam Law, we haven't seen a lot of this fella.
Hong Kong driver doing a really good job there. We'll actually try and see if we can pick him up on Zoom actually, because we have got his videos, I believe.
Lam Law leading. Kalen Chin very determined to stay nice and close. There's some determined driving going on there from young Caleb as they come over the old start-finish line. Now, these guys have got a 1.5 lead over Alistair. Now, where's Alistair Young disappeared to? Andika Rama looks like he's been able to get ahead. As we are on board with this is Lam Law, I think, the race leader at the moment. Nice inside line.
Oh, Kalen Chin, though, going around the outside. Yes, dives down the inside. There's going to be contact for sure. No. Drivers giving each other just enough racing room. And now his teammate, Long Lee, is coming through in the other Merc. So he's lost 2 positions there, going from 1st to 3rd. Wow, this is a really tough battle going on for such a... we're only 10 minutes into the race.
And there's a little grimace there going on from Lam Law. As you say, though, he's got 3 hours and 50 minutes to recover. Now, Alistair is dropping backwards. He's obviously had a little bit of an incident himself. He's down now into P6.
Well, Young has just been too aggressive, I feel, in the first few laps. Should not have been attacking as hard as he's done. It's a long race. You've got to concentrate on keeping the tyres in the window. If you attack too much, you overheat the tyres and then you start losing grip, and that's what he's done. And this is one of our race favourites, Andika Rama. Rama's done a great job now. He's been patient over the first few laps, hasn't been getting involved in the carnage, and now he's up to P4. Well, actually, there's not been much carnage, but he hasn't been getting involved in being too aggressive. Was very smart driving by the Indonesian, and he's up to 4th now.
3:49 still to race, so 11 and a half minutes gone. Once you settle in, we're into lap 5 now. I suppose you get your looseners up over the first 10 laps, and then you just get yourself into a nice groove and worry about the rain when it comes, because the rain, ladies and gentlemen, is only 20 minutes away.
Yeah. Well, let's go back to that fight at the front. Ooh, teammates, here we go, from the Wako's Racing teammates.
But Kaelin's taken the lead, Alex, and they're
Yeah.
about to lap, would you believe, Brady. Brady in the Porsche is about to be lapped this early on, so clearly Darrell Brady has had a bit of a problem.
Oh, I wonder if he's coming for a pit stop or something. Yeah, he shouldn't be that far back. Yeah, he's going to get lapped by the leaders now.
Miles down, but it means that Longley and Lamlaw and Kaelin Chim might have a little bit of traffic to negotiate. But Kaelin, he's been as low as 4th, and twice he's had the lead. Here is Darrell Brady. As you said, he's in the same livery as Alexis Clapano. Looks beautiful, but it doesn't look so good when the leaders are about to come up and overtake you within 6 laps of the start. And they are going to overtake them. They are making up a lot of ground on the Porsche of Darrell Brady.
Yeah, it's not ideal at all. Brady would, it's hard to stay on the lead lap for full 4 hours, but you definitely don't want to go down a lap within the first quarter of an hour, to be honest. But yeah, look, Kaelin Chin here working really hard. He is leading right now, but the Wako's teammates doing a good job of really just putting a lot of pressure on him.
Kaelin Chin, Emil Frey Lexus in car 555. Under pressure. The helicopter shot shows you that Longley is just trying to look on the inside. Kaelin, though, has the right line, does that beautifully through Beckett's and onto Chapel.
Yeah. So Wako's Fliptable racing cars in 2nd and 3rd position. Hong Kong drivers, what's the number? 390 and, of course, number 6, Kong Lee in 2nd position.
And Dika Rama's attached himself onto the back of that group of 3.
That's very ominous. We know Ndika's very, very quick indeed. Oh, going for Stowe, and it's just right on the bumper on the leader there. Car number 6 of Kong Lee just putting so much pressure.
Kaelin Chin again has to be careful, and there's a contact.
The teammates hit each other off.
Lamlaw hits Longley. Lamlaw will drop down, and Dika will go up into P3. And Kaelin Chin, is that a little smile, Kaelin? Cheeky chappy. Moves away. There was no pressure. But Longley and Lamlaw coming together. Great recovery. I think Lamlaw is back on the circuit, but Andika Rama has now manipulated himself into the top 3, Alex Young.
Yeah, Andika Rama in top 3. Oh, getting very close there. The drivers are moving all over the back of Kaelin Chin now.
Why the aggression this early on? I'm not understanding. I'm loving it, but I'm not understanding it.
Yeah, it's not giving us a break to what? It's not giving us a break to relax. We'll have to wait for when the racing settles down a bit later on, and then we'll try and talk to some of the drivers as they drive.
Lamlaw has dropped down to P9 in the BMW. Reyes, Young, Ayman, Nassi and Afik have all gone past him. It means Kaelin Chin and Longley and Andika Rama have got a healthy 1.5 second lead over Reyes in P4. Here is Mikko Nassi down in P7. I say down, but he's lapping pretty quickly. What is he now? 2 minutes 8 last time out. That was his fastest lap. 2:7 this time. He's progressively 1/10 quicker than his previous lap, Alex.
Yeah, he's the quickest driver out there. Actually, Alistair just went and did a 2:02.3. So, but yes, the Stratos Lexus car is looking very quick there. Ayman in front of Nassi. They are teammates in Stratos Motorsports. So, Nassi will be keen to try and get in front of his teammate.
Nassi leads. Sorry, Nassi doesn't lead. Nassi is in 7th. He trails Ayman. Alistair Young goes through. Alistair is having a very up and down race. Started off well, got himself in the lead in the first couple of laps. Dropped down to P6, I think, at the worst, and has now just set the fastest lap of the race. Alistair, this isn't family favouritism, I promise you. It's just that Alistair is the headline news just at the moment, Alex.
Yeah, doing a good job. He has that early mistake earlier on obviously cost him a bit when he was leading, but yeah, it seems to have settled down now. Have to remember this long race. Oh, and we're seeing the first drops of rain. We will be getting some rain later on.
Okay, let's go down to the best of the amateurs. It's still Hendamo, and he's got Tobagas Farhan right behind him, but Hendamo just 4 tenths down on the race, 4 tenths down on, Ang just ahead of him as he comes on to lap number 7. Good racing, good lines, looks clean. Now Bentley just sits.
Yeah, Bentley is looking. That Bentley is a really pretty looking car, and it's doing looks really good as he comes around. Up to 11th position, so Hondamo's done a really good job in front of Tobagas Farhan. Tobagas, as we know, is a real quick driver, and Hondamo's done a good job there.
Does look heavy though, does the Bentley, in a good way, in that it just hugs itself down to the circuit. Hendamo takes a good line. Tobagas goes too wide, lost it completely as Hendamo just made a move outside of him, and that's bought the amateur, the best of the amateurs, just a little bit of breathing space. We are now through onto lap 8. Up at the front, it is still Kalen Chin who has the lead. We are beyond the quarter hour mark. So now they can say that the race is up and running. Now they can get into a groove. Chen about to be lapped. Does that mean Darryl Brady has been lapped already? Possibly. Reyes goes through in 5. Young in 6. Kalen Chin will be lapping the second driver.
Oh.
The white flag is on. Chen, I think, took
Having
the
a
long
moment.
way out.
This is the battle for the top 3. They're looking very close indeed. Chin just holding off, having to drive a bit defensively. I'm sure he wasn't hoping to be racing this hard in the first hour, and now the rain's coming down. It's a bit easier to follow drivers in these sort of conditions, because you can watch the driver in front, and if you see him make a mistake, then you can go, okay, well, that bit's a bit wetter, and kind of back out of it, brake a little bit earlier. But yeah, he's been hunted down by the 2 Mercs at the moment.
What happened to Lam Law? He's making himself back up into PA. Remember, Lam Law was in this leading group. He was in the top 3 until Long Lee, his teammate, kind of just edged him off. Lam Law currently in P8, but Kalen Chin, he's been in the lead for a long time. It's now 4, maybe 5 laps, Alex, and eventually that can become a little bit wearing as Long Lee has a look around the outside. Kalen takes the right line. Andika Rama, I tell you, Andika is just lurking and waiting, and Andika, I suspect, and Rain is a nice combination.
Yeah, for sure. Andika would be very strong in the rain. But yes, the Hong Kong drivers as well, Long Lee. We haven't seen so much of the Hong Kong drivers in ERGP. It's good to see them here with us now. They're a bit of an unknown for us. We know Andika Rama will be fast, but I got a feeling the Hong Kong drivers are going to be super quick as well.
All force just a little bit wide.
Kalen there, whoa, he's been having to soak up some serious pressure for many laps now. But now, yeah, Long Lee then a bit further back. See some of the other cars. Oh, the cameraman lost the leader there for a second. Found him in the end. As we focus on Rama. Reyes is also catching this battle. It's going to be a 4-way fight very soon. Maybe even a 5-way fight, as the scrapping in the front is allowing the cars at the bottom of the top 10 to close in on the leaders.
Yeah, Russell Reyes in the orange is just in P4, but Andika Rama, we do like this fella. There is Russell Reyes. He's been very consistent. Love the Ferrari. Nice to be there. Again, that looks just lovely on the road. Little bit of back end, lose it there though.
Yeah.
Good camera shot. Bad news for Reyes.
Yeah, well, Reyes is actually his teammate with Zero Sumudabila. So actually, that's the highest Philippine entry we have. So Reyes doing a good job there with Sim Racing Filipinos in the red Ferrari. Actually, I believe Reyes is a real life driver as well. So showing his experience. This game, this Assetto Corsa ACC game, is very good for the real life drivers. They are able to get a bit closer to the sim drivers on this game because it's very realistic. And Reyes there, yeah, doing a good job. And of course, with Sumudabila to get back in the car. Sumudabila, a silver driver in the RGP, but we've seen him win in bronze and copper, so we know Sumudabila will be very quick as well.
Mikko Nassi still not too far away. 7th place at the moment for Mikko Nassi. But we'll stick with Reyes. As you can see, he's coming around. Brooklands, classic classic circuit, Silverstone. The tractors are there, but they come round Brooklands, and we'll move. Just have a look at Mikko Nassi, see how he's racing at the moment. Again, the green team Stratos is there, 7th place. But he's got Lam Law, who's recovered from his little spin. And Lam Law seems to be making a move there on Mikko Nassi. Got a little bit of a drag from Nassi. And Lam Law, at some stage, we've seen his aggression, will make a move, I expect, sometime, Alex.
Yeah, so Nassi, as you can see, he's had some bodywork damage, so he's obviously been in the wars in the first few laps. Not showing the pace I'd expect from him in that green and black Lexus. He's behind his 2 teammates right now. We've got Ayman and Jung just ahead of him. But yes, Nassi doesn't have the pace at the moment, and Lam Law, he's going to be favourite. Car number 40, car number 390 is going to be favourite to get past him.
There he is. His ping level is good. That's the bracket number on the right-hand side as Mikko Nassi comes through. He is in P7. Bottom left of your screen tells you there. 3rd gear, then accelerates up to 150, 160, 170. Changes up into 4th. He knows he's under pressure. But while he's under pressure, tell you what, he's drawing up a little bit closer to Troy Ayman and Alistair Young ahead of him. This is a race that is good news for Mikko Nassi, because it means he's just got to go quicker to keep Lam Law off his back.
Yeah, but he's got to find a bit of pace. The rain is starting to come heavier down. The drivers are going to need, if the rain does keep coming down, and I think it will, the drivers are going to need to try and get to at least the 45-minute mark. They don't want to pit before then, because if they do, then they might have to take a 4th pit stop, which they won't want to do, to try and make sure that they can do this race with just 3 pit stops. 4 stints for the drivers. They need to try and get to the 45-minute mark.
Yeah, just a reminder, 1 hour 15 is the maximum duration. Well, no, it's 2.5 hours total is the maximum duration for any one driver, but there must be 4 separate stints. Depends how they want to work through it. As we go with Nassi, he went a little bit wide, and Lam Law goes on the inside. Lam Law overtakes Nassi. Little bit of contact there. The Hong Kong racer did indeed make the move. He moves up into P7, and the BMW driver was aggressive there and has taken Mikko Nassi. That was a shock for the Singaporean.
Yeah, and the Singaporean has got some damage. Got damage on both sides of the car. It doesn't seem like big damage, but I'm just wondering if it's affecting the handling a bit. And Lam Law there with a great move. And now he moves up to position 7.
Well, Nassi now has to look backwards. He's got Mohammed Afiq maybe chasing as we move back up to the front. And Kalen, Chin, Longley and Andika Rama and Reyes, as you quite rightly said. But Chin, look, they're coming up to Waji now. And Waji is in P... what is he? They must have passed 7, 8, maybe 9 races already, Alex, this front 3. They go past Waji there. They've got Kubis in front of them. This is really impressive from the front 3.
Yeah, so now we're getting to the real crux of endurance driving, which is how to deal with traffic. The pro drivers, it's okay to be fast for one bit. As Maulana goes really wide there. It's how you deal with traffic. If you can deal with traffic well, that's where you really earn your stripes as an endurance driver. And Chin, they're skiving through the traffic, doing a good job there. And Longley and Rama desperate to follow him through.
And they've done a good job as well. So has Lam Law. I've got to tell you, he has got himself up into P7 and he's not too far away. It's a heck of a recovery because he was knocked off his stride by Longley. I'm wondering if there might be a little bit of retribution coming later on in the race if he gets the opportunity. Kalen, still smiling.
Still smiling, yeah. It's the most relaxed race car driver I've ever seen. I would be so tense up there in the lead. But, he's only 14 years old. Really, one of our youngest drivers out there. I think only in this field, I think maybe his teammate, Evan David, might be 13 or 14 as well. So, yeah, good job there. Looking very focused and smiley occasionally too.
We will hope to be talking to the racers a little bit later on. Not in the first hour. I think the first hour is it's a little bit too early, but we will try to be communicating with the guys just to see how they're responding, how they think they can improve their lap times, and how their tiredness is, because that becomes an issue, I suppose, in the middle part of the race, Alex, where the adrenaline isn't running anymore, and you're just in a don't make any mistakes kind of a mode.
Yeah. Yes, very much so. Although some of the drivers have been just pushing too hard, haven't they? And getting into a bit of wars. Oof. Andika Rama's internet's been up and down a little bit. That's a bit of a worry. Just spiking a bit. I really hope we don't lose him. It's a problem with, we've seen that with Rama before, where he's always quick, he's always challenging for the win, but sometimes he gets disconnected due to internet issues. Hopefully his internet will settle down.
Longley is the man who is just in front of Andika.
Oh, Andika 426 ping now.
Oh dear.
Rama 426, 425. Oh.
Hey, internet providers in Indonesia, some help please.
Yeah, we don't want to lose him at this point. He's challenging for the win, you know.
Revere and Sung, the latest three to be overtaken. And Andika, hey, somebody's been listening to us, Alex. That ping immediately back down to 28.
Phew. Okay, let's hope it's...
And up
back
to 425.
No.
Back to 28.
Okay, so just spiking quite a lot there. Hopefully it will settle down soon, though, because, it's 3.5 hours to go, man. Oof, it's a long way to go.
Yeah, we certainly don't want to lose Andika.
He is teammates with Melvin Moe down in Singapore. Melvin has had very consistent internet from I've seen him drive, and he's a very good driver. So maybe Marlana might want to consider changing to Melvin at the first pit stops.
Occupational hazards as Revere pulls outside. The blue flags are in, so the guys will make their way around. Second gear, 80, 90, 100 kilometers an hour. Kalen Chin lapping very consistently. A 2:06.8 last time out. His best lap. Sorry, that was just longer. Josh Perwin there. He's around about the 2-minute marks. Each lap is Kalen Chin. 2 minutes and 2 minutes and 1. Andika is there. Let's go down a little bit. Let's visit Arwin Tarunya down in P45. See how Arwin is doing. Maybe not. Too many races. Oh, maybe we've got a change already. Sean Chen is on there. Now, I don't recall... Yeah, maybe I do recall Chen being lapped earlier on. But he's in P45 at the moment. Arwin Tarunya. Always used to be quick, Arwin. Car 62. It's nice. Looks good. But he's a long, long way down. 24 seconds behind P32 and being grabbed. Honkulada is there. 33rd for Arwin Tarunya.
It's strange to see him so far down. He must have had an issue. Maybe he had to come in for a pit stop or something, but he's all the way down right now.
And an old favourite of ours, Josh Perwin, currently in 22nd place, the Aussie. We'll just try and find him, this cameraman.
He's in the... Oh, look at that. He's had...
Oh, wow. Okay,
big
that
damage.
explains why he's 22nd.
And more
a
damage.
Ferrari in front of him.
That's Harris Jaime and Henry Coe. Henry Coe was challenging for the AM. That's picked up some big damage there. Oh, disaster for those two drivers.
Well, we selected Josh at just the right time for us, not for him, because he went straight into that collision. There is Henry Coe, and as you say, it is Harris Jaime who's alongside him.
Oh dear, Henry Coe, he was really challenging for the win for the amateur class. And look at that, he's so angry, he's muttering to himself. I'm not going to go to for an interview with him right now. I think we'd get quite a lot of 4-letter words.
Go for it, fella, go for it.
Oh, Joyce, he's going to have to pit to repair that damage, I feel.
But he must have lost control because there were two of them. And Henry, just like, you are too close, it says. Yes, quite right. More contact on Rosales. Clearly he's having a problem or two. Rosales gets out the way. Lawrence Bernardo overtakes Henry Coe. And Henry Coe looks like he's just going to be limping if he can get into the pits. He's got half a lap to go, though, to get into the pits. And he is all over the circuit, Henry Coe.
I really feel for Henry. He's been doing a lot of preparation into this race.
And Josh is looking pretty bashed as well, Alex.
Yeah, and the black McLaren, yes. So Josh, really, I would expect him to be fighting the top 10. But yes, that car has been pretty damaged as well. He's obviously hit quite a few cars in this opening stint. He's going to have to get back, try and get to the pit stop window. And because he got 3.5 hours to go, I would spend the few seconds in the pit lane to try and fix that car.
Good graphics. As Harris Jaime in P18. I think he was the other guy in the track. Good COVID awareness, Harris. Well done.
That must have been that must have been
yeah, it must have been Suhaimi. Yes,
yeah.
Suhaimi, not Harris. So yeah, Harris Jaime, P18. He's in a race on his own. He's got Mika Hakimi behind him, Tunku Ezenlei in front of him.
Yeah, actually, why don't we just go try and talk to him? We can try and talk to him for a bit, actually, see if that works. So Charmy is there. We are following him right now. Let's see which what if his teammate wants to talk to us. Maybe Harris won't want to talk to us.
Harris, they're just coming around the long right-hander.
So Harris, we're there with the keyboards right now. Caliph, you're there. You're his teammate. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you guys. I can hear you.
Okay, so Harris, how's it going? Is it getting tricky out there with the weather?
Yeah, the track is greasy right now, so it can get very tricky on this condition. So I think on the top of the leaderboard, at least everyone will still stay out because the track is still greasy. So we don't know when is the full wet the condition. So it's gonna be a very chaotic battle. If Mrs. Dessers would say, it will be a very good entertainment, that's for sure.
Okay, Caliph, what do you think right now? Is your teammate doing a good job?
Yes, great job.
Yes, I believe
Yeah.
he's a good
Yeah.
spotter at this point, giving advice on this kind of game. But he's very
Okay.
kind of pretty unpredictable. So yes, it's a very he's a
Okay,
good one.
well, good luck to both of you. You got a lot to concentrate on. Talk to you later.
Alright, thank you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks, Alex.
Good to get that kind of interaction. Very rare to get that kind of interaction. And Harris, while he was doing it, was making some good ground up. Although these are back markers that he's got to negotiate his way around. So even the middlemen are finding a little bit of traffic how to do it. As you said, Alex, endurance racing, dealing with traffic is a big part of the job description.
Yeah, it is. It is indeed, and I always marvel at how the sim racers can focus and concentrate on so many things at the same time. I know I couldn't do that.
Where are we now? Yevon David is another of the youngsters. We were just with Harris Sharmi. Yevon David, we haven't had a look at him, the young Sri Lankan. Again, it's Stratos, getting good publicity from us here. Just behind him is Tony Fock. That means that Yevon David has just overtaken Tony Fock. And is racing pretty well. Have we gotten on board with Yevon? There we do. And Yevon working hard. Looking straight down the camera lens. Looking a little bit more tense than Kalen Chin, Alex.
Yeah, another damaged car. A lot of these drivers in the wars. I have to say, a lot of the real world drivers actually getting in the wars and damaging the cars. Wow, so hard racing from the get-go. Oh, as Yevon goes really wide at that corner there. Shouldn't get a penalty for that. There are track limits. If you exceed track limits too many times, you will get a drive-through. But so far, so good.
Yevon, so the damage, do you think the guys are just going to try and make it through to 345 and if they possibly can, just to avoid the pit stop? They might lose 15 seconds, but a pit stop will cost them 30. Moving on to Nigel Chua. Nigel was messaging early to say that he had a little bit of problems during qualification. He was very quick in the practice endurance race that we had, the mere 2 hours. Or in the early stages anyway. Here he's in P13. He's a lap down on the race leaders. And Damo, the best of the amateurs, he's gone up into P11. In fact, he stayed in P11. He's been there for the best part of the last 10 laps or so. That good-looking Bentley, Laditya Hendarmo. Good to have him on board. Track is now greasy. And the rain is going to get heavier and heavier and heavier, which is great for me.
Wow, it's really coming down now, isn't it? And in 30 minutes from now, it says it's going to be full-on rain. So as long as the drivers can keep the temperature in the slicks, and that will be harder as the rubber comes off those tires. As long as they can keep the temperature there, they can stay out in these greasy conditions. Wow, you saw that by Tobago. They got really sideways on the exit there. So it is getting super greasy there. I got a feeling we're going to see some drivers start thinking about doing a pit stop.
Well, into the top 10 here. Afik is 9th. Tobagas is in 10th. There is Afik on another of the Bentleys. They're the two top Bentleys. Ahead of them, you've got Troy Iman and Alistair Young. And Mikko Nassi. Sorry, Mikko Nassi is in P8. Apologies. You've got in front of him Troy Iman and Alistair Young. What's Mikko doing? Lap times 2:06.7 last time out. Best of 0.75. 2:06s. Happy with that, Alex?
Yeah, it's okay for now, but it's getting on the threshold where you need to start thinking about wets. But yeah, wow, Lam Law, great job. Got past all three Stratos Lexus cars in the last few laps. Remember, he got punted off by his teammate into a spin, went down to P9, and now he's up to P6. So he's showing really, really good pace in that BMW.
We've never given Alistair so much love. Here he is in P6 once again. He's driving pretty consistently. His last lap time was a 2:06. Again, his best lap time is a 2 minutes flat. But 2:06 seems to be the average mean at the moment. Alistair's got himself up into P6. And you were just mentioning Lamlaw, the best of the BMWs. That's the man just ahead of him. Lamlaw, quite rightly, as you say, he was chasing P1 when he was shunted off by his own teammate. He's got himself now up into P5 and is looking pretty cool and relaxed in his cockpit.
Yeah, he knows there's a long way to go. He knows that he just has to stay calm here. And he has. He's done a really good job to limit the damage after that spin. And, he's not out of it. You can see the leader right now. He's, I think, the quickest driver on track at the moment.
So Lamlaw, he's got Henry Coe. Now, Henry Coe, has he been in for a stop? Because
yes.
It looks like there's a lot less damage on that vehicle.
Yeah, it does look better. For sure he's been in for a stop. The amateur driver from Singapore, okay, so he can't give up though. Still a long way to go. You can always make up those positions again.
And Lamlaw, he is down in we'll stick with Henry Coe, who's currently in 38th. So he's in the top 10 of the amateurs, trailing Chia, Kubis, Tukami, Lee in the amateurs, really. Azlan, Ha, Matrio, and Chui. So Henry Coe, well, it's a better looking car. The sponsors will be happier because there's no scratches all over the names.
I love the "You Are Too Close" sticker at the back, though. That's awesome. That's really cool.
Now then, we're up into the top 4. This is Russell Reyes, the best of the Filipinos. Is Russell Reyes, Sim Racing Filipinas, in the best of the Ferraris. Of course, they look grand, they sound beautiful. How good are they in the wet, though? That's the big question. What are they on? They're still on slicks out there?
Yeah, I believe they haven't come in for pit stops, so they're definitely all still on slicks. They'll still be on the tyres they started the race. This ping's getting a bit high, 200 as well, but still in it at the moment. But yes, good job by the Filipino driver. We are almost into the 40-minute mark into the race, so drivers can start thinking about pit stops, especially as it gets too greasy. Someone at some point will eventually think, right, I need to go to wets very soon.
Okay, top 3. Andika Rama, we saw his ping still around about that 425s. It's a bit too high. He won't be happy with that. But it's not interfering with him so far. And we're still seeing him on the circuit, and he's still being able to chase Longley. 2:07.5, so the racers behind are lapping a little bit quicker as Longley goes on the inside of Sung, who gets lapped for the second time, and Andika Rama glides past at the same time. Legion of Racers main man is Andika Rama, and he comes through in P3. Longley is the man with the from Hong Kong, just one place ahead of him, but our race leader is Kalen Chin, Alex, and while we've been dealing with the back markers, Kalen's helped himself to a 2.5 second lead.
Yeah, the man that put it on pole in tricky conditions in qualifying. And as the conditions get tricky now, he seems to be finding some bit more pace. And he's dropping the guys in second and third. Kong Lee and Rama not able to live with the pace of the Australian at this phase of the race.
Kalen Chim lapping at 2:07.2 last time. 2 minutes 0.3 is his fastest time at the moment. Eyes darting everywhere as he comes up to more back markers. And this is an occupational hazard for car 555. But he's taking it very, very much in his stride, is Kalen Chin. Where's he racing out of? Is he in Singapore at the moment, or is he back in Oz?
No, I think he's still in Singapore. He's half Singapore, half Australian, but he races under the Australian flag. And he's nice and calm and collected. Being the leader right now, this is exactly what he needs. He's now put up that gap to 3 seconds. He needs that gap because when the conditions get funny like this, you start wondering about strategy. But if you have that gap, you don't have to panic into a decision straight away. Oh, he's getting sideways there, big smiley face again.
He's enjoying that far too much, isn't he?
Yeah.
Good to see. Bhaskara was the man who was lapped. I think he's 2 laps down is Bhaskara because he was 46th of all of the races. Coming up behind Kalen Chin is still Longley and Andika Rama. Reyes is there as well. Well, we're now settling into a bit of a groove as Chin comes up to a couple of more back markers. These are the amateurs. Lim and Chiar, and he's nearly caught up in a sandwich. Oh, that can be difficult there, because there's nowhere really for Lim to go, was there?
Yeah, no, he just can't get out of the way. And actually, they are teammates. Chin is going to lap his teammate, so Aaron's just going to let him through, takes the inside for this corner, and easily done. And now the guys in second and third are going to have to navigate these cars.
Heading up round farm, they'll come up into the village, the loop and Aintree, which I think they nicknamed the arena. Andika Rama, despite the high ping, is very, very consistent. Rain, well, it's dry out on the track. That's what it's saying. Dry out on the track at the moment.
Andika, he's got the fastest lap of the race so far. He's the only ones in the 459s. Seems to be a bit more circumspect now that it is raining, though. I think if he could get past Kong Lee, he'd motor up to the leader quite quickly. But yeah, it's easy to follow. It's not so hard to overtake. I mean, it's harder, obviously, to overtake.
Sorry, I completely misread something there. It's greasy out on the track. Of course it is. But they haven't changed their tyres. I think it must be the dry weather tyres they were on. Andika Rama, now that ping is down. It always seems to be where he is on the circuit. That's better for him, because if you're hitting the 425s, you can get a little bit worried that Andika Rama might just be kicked out, as Lim is there. Mika Hakimi. Right, what's happened to Mika? Down in P28 at the moment. He is a lap down. In fact, he's 21 seconds down on Aaron Tarunya, who's in P27.
Wow, so another one of the quick drivers in trouble. Tobago's Farhan also back there. Wow, Tobago shouldn't be that. I wonder if Tobago's has done a pit stop. Maybe we can go to Tobago's and we can have a look at his tires. Oh, Mika runs wide and Tobago's just goes through.
Oh, Mika ran very, very wide. I thought he was going to take he's got a different pit lane. Tobago's is...
Oh, maybe he's unlapping himself, because Tobago's... Sorry, yeah, Tobago's just lapping Hakimi. I think Hakimi was just too far back.
Afik is the man who's chasing. Yeah, Hakimi's in P26. As you say, he's normally pretty quick, but there's 3.25 hours still to race.
Yeah. And Mika is on the dry tyre, so he hasn't pitted for wet. So oh, small nudge, just struggling to slow down. I'm wondering if he's starting to lose temperature on those tyres. Too many mistakes coming in. And when you do go off track, you pick up dirt, you lose more temperature, and then it makes it easier to make another mistake straight away.
My mate Tobago's Farham
on the dry tyre in 8th position. So, yeah, wow, the top 10 are really lapping quite deep into the field now.
Best lap of 2:03.54. Last lap at 2:10.8. In the top 8 out of 46. All the drivers are still out on the circuit. Nobody has retired as yet.
Okay, first pit stop I've seen. Troy Ironman has come in and he's gone to the wet tyres. So he went from, I think, 7th position. He's now dropped down to 16th position. So we'll keep an eye on him. The teams will be keeping an eye on him, because if he starts setting some very fast lap times on the wet tyres, that's going to tell the other teams that it's quicker to be on the wets.
So Troy Ironman has set the first agenda. Do you want to be first in? Is it a gamble? Well, clearly it is a gamble, because nobody else has done it, but he was only in 8th place when he went into the pit. He's dropped 10 places as a result. Kalen Chin, he comes into the pits as well. So then, significant. Is there going to be a racer change? He can't yet, can he? So it's just going to be a pit change.
Yeah, he's probably just going to change to the wet tyres. Let's see what tyres go on. He must be pitting the wet tyres, because I think Troy is his teammate. So Troy has obviously done the pit stop, gone to the wet tyres, let him know that there's so much more grip, I think. And now he's doing the pit stop.
Particularly as there is more rain forecast. Oh, it's a long purgatory pit stop. Reyes comes in as well. That's the orange card, just going on the outside of Kalen Chin.
I think Kalen must be doing a driver change as well. We'll come back to him later. But, Andika Rama's gone down as well. I don't think he's pitted, is he? Because he's dropped down the leaderboard as well.
Yes, he has.
So he's pitting. Everyone going for wet tyres now. So that means Lam Lo from Hong Kong is in the lead right now.
Lam Lo, and he's taken Reyes alongside with him. So it wasn't Reyes who was pitting. Reyes is now in P2, and this is great performance from the Filipino. Nice looking Ferrari, orange in colour. We'll have to have a word with him about that. But second place, have to have a word with him about. Oh, is that traditional red? No, it's orange, isn't it?
Reddish orange. So this is the trick. So I think the wet tires are quicker. Troy Iman, let's see what lap times he's doing. But if they pit early like this,
Lamlo, wow, went very, very wide. Loss of concentration from Lamlo. Long Lee has been in. Russell Reyes is still there. Now we're just chasing all the pit stops, and this is where strategy and bottle and awareness that there's still a long way still to race comes in. Lamlo was the guy who was knocked sideways, isn't he?
Yeah. So, interestingly enough, Troy Iman's not setting great lap times. His last lap was a 2:14, which is nothing special. So, I still think it's too early to go to the wet tire. I just think that because when you go this early to the wet tire, when the track is still a bit dry, a bit greasy, you will destroy that wet tire. So, if it does rain a lot, and the forecast is for it to rain even more, your wet tire could be destroyed towards the end of that stint. So, I suspect it's a touch early. But anyway, we've seen Iman in, we've seen Kalen Chin in, and we've seen Rama Malana in for the pit stops. So they're on wets. But the leaders, as we're watching right now, Lamlo and Reyes in the red Ferrari, are on dry tyres still.
And Long Lee, so Lamlo has done magnificently well. Because he has come back from P9. He was P9, it wasn't Long Lee, it was Lamlo who was P9, and he's got himself into the lead, Alex. That's phenomenal.
Oh, you're right. So sorry. Kong Lee must have made a mistake because Kong Lee was leading earlier on. So Lamlo and Reyes now in lead. Kong Lee in third.
Wow.
Apologies.
Some comeback. There is Long Lee.
Yeah. And they're setting lap times. They're still in the 10s on those slick tyres. So that's a good lap time to be setting.
And Dikarama, after the pits, his out lap was 3:14. Obviously means nothing. We'll wait until his second lap is there. We're on board with 889 and Dikarama. Best of 159, 3:14 there. That's not the worrying thing for Andika is that ping, that bracket to the right hand side above him. It's been worryingly there at around about 424, 425. Alistair Young has got himself up into P4. And his last lap at 2:12, 108. Alistair's not pitted, I don't think. No, I don't think he has.
Okay, so Kalen Chin's teammates in the car now. Ryan Keefe. So they did a driver swap as well, but he's struggling for pace at the moment. I'm not sure. Troy Iman just did a 2:12. So the wet tyres are not giving the lap time that we expected at the moment. Maybe Iman's preferring him. Maybe it's a bit more grip. But like I said, he's going to really hurt those wets. We'll see what sort of times Andika Rama can do later on as well, because he hasn't completed a lap. Oh, he just has. No. Sorry, wrong driver. He hasn't.
There is Andika. 3:14. He's 1:19. Let's just stick with him to see how his form is, Alex, to see what kind of grip he is getting and what lines he's able to follow. He's now on wet weather tyres.
Yeah. So I jumped on the server just 2 days ago and tried it in the wet, and there's no wet lines in this game. You just do the dry lines. That seemed to be the fastest thing. Andika looking good right now, but we really won't know if it is the right call to go to wets until we see him cross the finish line.
146, 147, 148, coming down to the tail end of this circuit. You can see he's coming round Brookfield's left field now, and then he'll accelerate past Woodcott and up on past the start-finish line. Let's see how quick he is. Well, he's beyond 203, 204, 205. Yeah, it's not made a huge difference for him, has it? It's a 29333 inside the 210.
Oh, that 2.9 is good. 2.9 is good in these conditions because the leaders are doing 2.10s. So I think we're just getting that crossover. The wets will be a bit quicker than the slicks. But the big question mark, of course, is running these greasy conditions. How much damage are you going to put on those wet tyres? So that means you might have to stop a bit earlier, again, later when it gets too wet.
Andika, third gear, fourth. Lovely line. He's being chased, Andika. Troy Iman's out there. Shahab is out there. Kassen is just being lapped into third gear. 120, 130, slides the back end. Enjoyably so. Takes a wide line and then, as you say, just follows the same racing line that's been established in the previous 23 laps.
Yeah. He's setting some quick lap times. I think when the leaders do pit, I think that might put Rama Malana into the lead because he's doing some good laps now. But let's go back up to the leaders and see how they're doing with these tricky conditions, trying to see if they can maintain that pace. There is Lam Law. Wow, really impressive, very super impressive, this driver. The BMW, you know, they were punted to a spin earlier, and the way he's just recovered and quickest car in these tricky conditions in that BMW is impressive indeed. Well, the train of cars to clear though ahead of him. Oh, and someone's gone off. That's Daniel Ui from Singapore, so he's just recovering there. New to the game, brand new to the game, shall we say, and yeah, baptism of fire for him.
Lando, his last lap was a 2:10.7 on dry tyres. He's just approaching the midway point of this particular lap. If he can still lap on 2:10 on dry tyres, that is pretty good, although he looks like he's just losing his way a little bit there, Lamlaw.
Yeah, made a small mistake. Wouldn't have cost him too much time though.
5 seconds down on his fastest time at the moment, 6 seconds down. So this looks like it may well be a 2:10 once again, maybe a little bit more than that. Dry tyres. Loving the shots, good graphics. And the rubber is being left on the circuit. As they come round the loop and down back to my hometown in Aintree.
Alright, let's go on to Josh Perwin, shall we, and see what he's doing. Maybe we'll try and talk to those drivers as well while he's driving. He's got a new teammate this weekend, Kian Butler. We can do some commentary for us even.
If we can find him, he's quite a way down. He was 22nd last time I saw him, but he's dropped. Kian is there actually.
Yeah.
So they've made a driver change. So Kian Butler is in for Josh Perwin. There's still a bit of collateral damage on that vehicle. Paintworks needs a little bit of TLC. It's like yours, Alex.
Yeah, my cars are never damaged.
So Kian Butler, so there's a driver change. Now then, you've got to make 4 changes.
Yeah, well, 3, yeah, so 4 stints. So, Kian, are you good to talk to us, mate?
I can do. I'm driving at the moment, but I'm happy to multitask.
I'm sure you can multitask. Just speak up a little bit. You're a bit quiet, but if Josh is there, maybe, Josh, you want to say hi?
So,
Hey, Josh, why don't you let us know what happened in the opening stint?
alright, so got taken out at the start, was dead last, got back up to 25th, got taken out again, got back up to the same position, got taken out again, and that happened, I think, 4 or 5 times. And then a car was just rejoined straight across the track at Magnussen Beckett, which gave us major damage.
Oh yes,
So-
we caught that incident on the broadcast. Your car still looks damaged, so you've not fixed it in the pit stop?
We fixed as much as we can, but there's obviously some damage that's not repairable, unfortunately. So we're just gonna have to keep on driving. But we've sent 4 or 5 incidents to the stewards to hopefully look at. So yeah.
Yeah. We caught the like we said, we caught the incident at Beckett. So not really much you could have done about that. 2 cars fighting ahead of you. But yeah, long way to go, guys. How's the car feel, Kian?
Feels good. We've just made the switch onto wets as a lot of drivers have, and obviously the tail end's a bit more oversteery since then. But so far, I mean, we're making good pace. I'm holding on to, in terms of times, people like Mikko, Nassi. So I'm trying to just unlap us from as many cars as possible and just try and set us up for a good recovery in the 3 hours that remain.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. We were definitely I think we've been one of the fastest cars throughout this whole race. We just kept on getting unlucky, I think. So we're just gonna have to make up ground and hopefully not too many more incidents.
Yeah, well, good luck, boys. You're doing a good job. Still a long way to go, and yeah, it's definitely getting wet out there, and I'm sure you can recover.
Okay, thanks, Alex.
Cheers.
Kian Butler and Josh Perwin. Good to get there in sights, and as you can see, there is damage to the vehicle. Behind them, Moen nearly collides as well there. This is the P29 at the moment. They've got Mika Hakimi ahead of them. Darryl Brady also in the Porsche. Should we just have a look and see how Darryl's getting on? Because, well, there's Mika. And there's Darryl Brady in the Porsche. Now, he was very early on lapped, Alex. We expected, I think, a little bit more from from the Darryl. Is he Clapano and Brady? Is that the combination?
I believe so. So, yeah, they're a lap down, but they're doing some pretty good lap times, actually. They're not too bad. 2:13 at the moment in these wet conditions. It is getting wetter. The leaders are in the 11s.
Still on dry tyres as well.
Still on dry tyres as well. Wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel some of the boys might have changed to wets just a little bit too early.
Like Troy Iman, he was the first one in, lapping 2:10.7, which isn't pulling up trees. It's acceptable, but it's not giving them the 1-2 second advantage, perhaps, that they thought the early change might give them.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But Russell Ray's just at a 2:15, so there are some drivers struggling. So Lam Law's still staying out there on the dry tires, amazingly. But Kong Lee, I think he's coming for a pit stop. Yes, he's on the wets now, so he's down in 7th position. He's lost a couple positions to Malana. Andika Rama Malana is in 4th. He will be the leader, I think, when Lam Law pits. But yeah, I would think Lam Law should pit now, to be honest, because he's going to lose too much ground to the Indonesian driver in shot.
Let's have a look. Dan Martin has taken over, I think, from Alistair in P5, 5 of 46. That change has clearly just happened. So his out lap was a 3:07.4. He's halfway through his first lap out, and so the adrenaline rush is on for those who have just got into the car, Alex, and they've just got to get into the groove pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's always a challenge as the second driver when you jump in, especially when conditions are changing like this. If it's conditions you're expecting, like stable, dry conditions, it's not such a big worry. But when it's wet like this and it's getting wetter and it's changing, it's so hard to find the limit. Oh, someone spins to the infield there. It's so hard to find the limit, and you can lose not just a few tenths, you can lose seconds on those outlaps as you get used to the conditions.
Let's see how he's doing. We'll just stick with him to the end oh no, we won't. As he comes through as well. I'll keep an eye on Dan Martin though, go find out how quick or slow he was. We're on board here with Arif Azmi from Malaysia in the Lexus. 18th of 46, lapping around about the 2:12 mark on the wet tyres.
Yeah, he's a very good driver. Junior Carter. I think he won the junior category in Rotax Max a couple of years ago. So yeah, he's very, very good driver. One of the real world drivers. New to sim racing, but yeah, he's setting some decent lap times at the moment. Oh, as he gets a bit of a tank slapper on.
There's been a couple of penalties that have just been cleared, stop-go penalties cleared. There's Abdul Rahman and Tarunya, and Wasan go through. There is Abdul Rahman, who is way down. He's been lapped several times. Andy Karama, though, is currently in P4. And our old mate, Mikko Nassi, he is always going to be the man you look for. As if you're beating Mikko, you're going to have a really good chance of winning this race, Alex.
Oh, yeah. And he's starting to show a bit more pace now.
2:09.3 on the last lap.
Yeah, that is good pace. So now his car's starting to come alive a bit more.
As we approach the end of our number one, quarter of the way through the race, 4th gear, 200 kilometers an hour, moves up to 5th. Kalen Chin was in there as well. No, Kalen's Kalen's still up there? Or is that a different Chin?
So Kalen swapped drivers.
Yeah,
he's now got
yes.
Ryan Keefe's in the car with him. So Ryan Keefe's in his car. So he's just at the bottom of the top 20 at the moment.
Still on board with Mikko Nassi. Halfway through this lap. Let's just stick with Mikko for a lap, and I'm enjoying to see him on the wet weather tyres, in the wet conditions or greasy conditions. 4th, 5th, 1:13 as they come around the quick right-hander. And then through Club, I believe, before they head up towards Abbey Farm and the village. Simco Wern goes wide.
So we watch. This is Wei Xiong we're watching right now. He's watching his teammate Kai Wen as he goes. Let's see if we can get him on the radio so we can talk about his teammate. Let's find him now. Just give me a sec.
Sim Kai-wen, currently in P10. Last lap at 2:59.66. This looks like it's going to be pretty similar because he comes around Brooklands and Luffield, heads through.
So we talked to the car number 401. Kai Wen's in the car now. Wei Xiong, we're just talking to you. How's your teammate doing? Are you jumping in the car?
Pretty good. He's doing pretty good. But all those positions though.
Wow, you stayed out on the dries a long time. You going to go to wets now?
I'm still comfortable on the wet floor.
Okay. So
Coming to the pits now? Yeah, this is swap driver.
swap driver. So we're going to see a real life driver swap. We'll stay with these guys right now. Kai Wen's coming to the pits. Watch. So Wei Xiong there is in the graphic. You can see him. He's the guy with the headset. He will be making sure that he's putting the right pit stop settings. Kai Wen's going to exit the car. Kai Wen did say he was quite comfortable with the dries. I think he meant the dries, but for sure they're going to go to wets because it's definitely getting too wet right now.
Bottom right of your screen.
It's the wrong car.
Just the end. 30 seconds.
Selected the wrong car.
You select.
I hope I did not get a drive through because I accidentally hit the pit limit.
Oh dear.
But I didn't show anything
Oh,
else yet.
selected the wrong car.
Oh no.
Changes back.
10 seconds.
Selected the wrong car. Jeez.
Okay, we've got some panic going on here. Wei Xiong selected the wrong car. Let's see if he's got the right car now.
1.
Oof. I think we're relieved as Wei Xiong. Straight onto the circuit.
Oh, okay. Oh, so he starts his stint here. Good luck, guys. We'll come catch up with you guys in a while.
Alright.
Alright.
That was quite tense. That was really tense. So Wei Xiong is the new man in car number 401. Whoa, a little bit wayward. That's a welcome to Silverstone. A lot of damage on that vehicle as well, it's got to be said. They are now on the wet tyres, as you suspected, Alex. If we just go to the weather forecast, because the rain, the clouds are there, and I think we are expecting more and more and more rain.
Wow, Freddie Young's in the pits. He's also stretched it out now. He's in the wet tyres. The Young brothers have done a great job to get up to the front. But the leader now, Andika Rama Malana, so he's done a really good job. He's got a 5-second gap from Lam Law. So Lam Law also on the wets. This is the battle for the lead. Rama Malana from Indonesia and the purple and black Mercedes. And then Lam Law from Hong Kong. They're just 5 seconds behind. Dan Martin. Oh, no, he's got a 15 seconds penalty. So he's up to third position. So, done a good job. But there's a 15-second penalty to be served. Probably at the next pit stop.
And there's also a penalty for Wei Xiong as well.
Oh no, he got a stop-go 30-second penalty. Oh dear. Speeding in the pit lane.
Speeding. Well, he was concerned about that, wasn't he? Poor old Wei Xiong is the man who's got to do it. But Dan Martin, well, he came on. We watched him on his first lap. What is he lapping, Dan? He's a 2:11 is his fastest. The best in the car by Alistair was 2:00.39.
Yeah, but Martin's done a good job. He's got in the car in tricky conditions and he's up to fourth position. Obviously, disaster, that 15-second penalty. I think it was for a contact that his teammate Alistair Young did in that first stint, because I do remember there being a complaint about this car. So that must be for that contact earlier on.
Lot of contact from Alistair in the early stages. Zuriel Sumadabilia is out there as well. So we're getting our second lot of drivers in. Zuriel Sumadabilia in car 119. Now he's a champion for one of the... there's been an incident that he's just avoided. It's an occupational hazard. There'll be cars slip sliding all over the place as the weather just increases. Look at the top right, Alex. Track is now wet and the rain is meant to be there for the next 30 minutes plus.
Okay, we're going to go to commercial break soon, just for a couple, 3 minutes, and most of the pit stops have been done. Second drivers are in, or some drivers have stayed in, but they're all on the wet tire. It is worsening the rain, so wet tires are the way to be. We'll be back in a few minutes' time.